before we get started, I'm curious who is with us today. So if you don't mind, I think on your screen, it's the lower right-hand corner, I want you to select the thumbs up if you are here as an employer. So let me know, our employers, or if you're here from a workforce development group, please select the thumbs up. And then if you are a job seeker, which we probably don't have a ton of those, but if you are a job seeker, I want you to give me some applause. So give me the green applause button so I can see how many job seekers we have. And then finally, if you are a parent, please click the red heart symbol. All right. So I'm guessing that many of you maybe clicked two different icons because many of you are both an employer and a parent, or both a job seeker and a parent. We know that you're wearing many hats. We all are. And that's really what we're here to celebrate today. So if you're a parent, you'll find some tips and tricks to help you move forward as you're working to do it all. And then if you're not a parent, or maybe you want to find ways to apply it to the work that you do, and you want to find ways to take home and to work within reason, we're going to learn from each other today so that we can find value in hiring working parents and ways to support the ones that we already have on our teams. So before we get there, let me set the stage just a little bit. If this is your first time joining a Talent Alliance Spotlight, welcome. We host these every month to introduce you to amazing organizations. We'll hear from 3 of them in just a few minutes. They are all training Salesforce talent and will hopefully serve as key sources as you look for ways to fill your talent pipeline. Because we got a little bit of a late start, we are going to go over by about 5 or 10 minutes. If you're able to stay, fantastic. If not, this recording will be provided after. And if you didn't figure it out already, these sessions are hosted by the Salesforce Talent Alliance, which is the team that I'm representing. I already see some familiar names in our chat, so thank you for being here. I always love working with our Talent Alliance employers. As the Talent Alliance, our mission is to grow and diversify the Salesforce ecosystem. And this goal is really important because the ecosystem is growing rapidly and is estimated to grow to 4.2 million new jobs by 2025. So there's a lot of demand and opportunity that you all are likely experiencing every single day. We, as the Talent Alliance team, are meeting this demand with a 3-step approach. We first inspire people to pursue Salesforce careers with a particular emphasis on those from underrepresented communities. And then we work with employers like you to hire this new talent with incentives to do so along the way. And then we find ways to connect both parties of employers and job seekers. For those employers on the call who may not have joined the Talent Alliance quite yet, and we hope you will by the end of our call today, I want to spend just a moment to talk a little bit about the commitments that are involved in participating in the Talent Alliance program. So to become a member, we ask that employers commit to inclusive hiring practices, so honoring those things like removing bias in job descriptions. We ask that 20% of your annual hiring is net new to Salesforce, which we define as individuals who have less than 6 months of paid Salesforce experience. And then finally, one of those ways that we connect you is through guaranteed interviews for certified candidates from select Salesforce training programs, like some of the ones that we'll hear from today. In return, we're going to support you with access to Trailblazer talent, free certification exam vouchers, priority registration for career events, and more. And then if you're a Salesforce partner, you'll also get 25 points added to your Trailblazer scorecard. If this program sounds like something you'd like to be involved with, you can find more information in the link that was just added in the chat. And if you are a current Talent Alliance employer, you've heard me say this a lot, but we want to make sure you are meeting your commitments each quarter. The deadline for Q2 is August 1st. So make sure you're updating your hiring trackers and getting your calendars for automatic interviews submitted to us so that we can make sure that you're receiving your benefits. And now I would like to get to the really good stuff and introduce our panelist. I am joined today by 3 working parents who are here on behalf of 3 different workforce development groups. They're all focused on training and certifying Salesforce talent, and they all have a heavy emphasis and passion for succeeding at work and at home. These panelists really do it all, like many of you, and I'm super excited for you to meet them. Hopefully their stories will resonate with you because I know there are a lot of working parents with us today. So first we have Lena Casperson, who is an executive vice president at Revelant Group. We have Tatiana Cook, who is co-founder of Cloud Scouts and a consultant at Accenture Federal. We have Ivana Spallone, who is a member of Bring Women Back to Work and is currently working in our ecosystem through that program at Merkle. Told you they do it all by participating and being part of our broader ecosystem. So I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourselves in a little bit more detail. We'll start with you, Lena. And if you don't mind, please share a bit more about your work at Revelant and why you're especially passionate about celebrating Parents' Day.
Great. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you for having me here today. So at Revelant, we basically create net new talent. We cross-train IT and people into the Salesforce ecosystem. And I'm really, really passionate about being here today because we're finally having conversations about how do we balance career and being a parent. So I've been with this company for 12 years. And being young, being single in New York City, had more than enough time to go into the office 12 hours a day. Became a mom and my world really changed. And then you add a pandemic on top of it, then just everything is just chaos. And I think looking at the bright side, there's been a lot of conversations. A lot of companies are very new to this situation of having parents working from home. And it's great to see that we're having conversations on what can we do, because a lot of companies now have to figure it out. How do we make it easy or easier for parents to balance work-life balance, I guess.
Amazing. Thanks for being here. I will hand it over to you, Tatiana, to give a quick intro as well.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Tatiana Cook, and I am the co-founder of Cloud Scouts Salesforce Career Accelerator. Just this year, we've trained over 80 students in Salesforce, whether we were cross-training or training into military transitioning or military spouses. I am a military spouse, and my co-founder, Misty Fierro, is a military veteran. So we do like to focus on that particular segment, but we also allow civilians that are interested in our program. We have a 3-week program where we teach everyone about Salesforce, what it is, how to configure the system, what it looks like as a best practice in the front end, and then how to start configuring the system on the back end. And then we do sort of best practice and study groups after the fact. So we've been in existence for close to a year now and super excited. We really are classes scheduled at night so that we can help working parents or transitioning military better facilitate their schedule after the kids are in bed. So,
and you are a mom as well.
Yes, I'm a mom of 2 kids. I've got an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and it's been a challenge to manage my career plus my husband's career, who's active duty Air Force, and also the children, and then multiple military moves and deployments and things like that. But really hoping to bring Salesforce into a much needed space where there's a lot of underrepresented military spouses.
Yeah, absolutely. And wow, all of that at once. Balance is the name of the game for you, I can only imagine. Thank you for being here, Tatiana. And then to round us out, Ivana, tell us a little bit more about you.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you for inviting me. So I'm a member of Bring Women Back to Work Salesforce program, and I'm very proud to be a member of this amazing program. So briefly about me, I'm Italian, and in Italy, in Rome, I worked for 13 years in education industry. But 4 years ago, I decided to move to Switzerland to join my husband. And at that moment, my daughter was 3 months old. So I decided to take the opportunity to take a career break, to take care of my family, to learn French, and to have another child. So basically, I had two lives. The first one in Italy as a very busy woman with a full-time job, and the second life in Switzerland as a full-time mom. So after a few months after the birth of my second child, I decided to come back to work. So one morning, scrolling LinkedIn during breakfast, I saw a post about bring women back to work, and I saw uh, a program to support women to come back to work after a long career break. They were talking about me. So I applied the same day. And after many steps, I joined the Salesforce business unit in Markoldak in Geneva. First as a consultant, and now leveraging my background in education as a Salesforce training manager. So you can easily understand how I am excited to celebrate the Parents' Day today with you. Today in this stage, there is my story of the last few years. So there is LinkedIn, there is Salesforce, there is my role as a professional, and there is of course my role as a mother, as a parent.
Yeah.
So thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And I want to stick with you for a second, Ivana. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. And, you made this big career change, decided to go stay at home with a 2-year-old. And like you said, live two different lives. And I'm curious, when you decided to make the switch and return to work after a career break, I want to hear more about that, because if I'm thinking about putting myself in your shoes, I think that might feel daunting to step back into that other life. Maybe there are self-doubt you have, like we all have. So talk me through how it felt to start again, and then how Bring Women Back to Work has supported you through that.
So the problem when you want to come back to work after a long career break is related to the self-confidence and to the confidence in your abilities, in your skills. Bring Women Back to Work supported me on this through a training program, to also a mentorship and a coaching program. Mentorship must focus on career development, coaching program focus on personal development. Both programs supported me in gaining self-confidence, in recognizing my skills. And also, while working, I understood that the maternity gave me new skills, gave me new power, new energy. I think that childbirth, sleepless night, bring women to their limits. So I understood that this new knowledge of me gave me a new point of view, new incredible problem-solving skills, and a new approach, the vision that anything is possible. And on Marco's side also, I found really a great family. First of all, the partner alliance manager, a great woman and a wonderful professional who supported me, who guided me from the day one. I find flexibility in my role as a mother, as a professional. And I found also a strong relationship with my boss, the head of the Salesforce business unit in Markoldak. He is also a working dad, so he understands very well the needs of a professional and a parent too. So more than once, especially during COVID, we had online meeting with our children on our laps.
Wow. Whenever you talk about, when you said maternity gives mothers new power and energy, it gave me goosebumps. I love how you think about that changed perspective. And I'm curious to hear from our other parents on the line, if you've had the same experience. So Lena, do you feel like when you came back to work after your maternity and, you know, becoming a mom, do you feel like that helped you grow as a professional? And if so, how?
Absolutely. I think the first thing is multitasking, and taking a deep breath when everything is chaos. You really learn it's going to be okay. So I think when it comes to dealing with, project deadlines, a lot of tasks being thrown at you, you just grow as a person because you have done all of this with almost zero sleep. I think the biggest thing for me is that you learn to spot when people are struggling a bit. As a mom, I find that before, I was just, it was a lot about me and my career and my tasks. And as a mom, you kind of start looking at signs with children when they're struggling, and you can kind of transfer that skill set as well to your employees, to your coworkers as well. You spot those signs of this person is actually struggling, and you just have more empathy as well. And the thing that I always say to my employees and to my coworkers as well, just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this together. I think those are the skills that I've definitely have been able to grow with becoming a mom.
Yeah. Tatiana, anything that you would add, any skills either you've felt within yourself or you've seen maybe with some of the job seekers you're working with that would make employers change their perspective potentially on thinking, I really want to hire this working parent because I know that they can do fill in the blank?
Yeah, so I think as a parent, you start to see the world in a different way, right? I mean, it's not, and I speak to this with my siblings and other people that might not have children yet. And that, it's the same thing as if you have a pet or whether you don't have a pet. These perspectives give you new sort of feelings and emotions and thoughts and invoke these different desires. And some of them are, you want to change the world for the better with your kids, which this career field really lets us do, especially in the federal space. I've been able to work on a lot of great projects that even affect children on a daily basis. So having that empathy, but also I think, especially as the children get older, being able to slow down and reflect and check in with yourself, learning to be patient, learning to forgive yourself and others, because we have a lot on our plate, right? Especially in the United States, the dogma is really just work, 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 right? And so making sure that you understand that it's not the end of the world, and that yes, these are priorities, but their burnout is real, and that we need to make sure that we're assessing all those different parts of our life design, right? Whether it be work, whether it be your marriage, your children, and assessing all of these parts as a whole. Whereas maybe when we didn't have children, it was just go, 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 work weekends, work nights, and it was fine because you didn't really have a lot of responsibilities. But learning to micromanage it and time manage and block out your calendar and let people know around you. I know Lynn said to spot people that are in trouble, which I do a lot as a manager myself, but also making sure that you spot when you're getting into a situation where you're giving too much in one sector or not. So for example, I took July off just to reset and really get back in touch with myself. And, it's easy to get into the day-to-day miasma, but, put that time out on your calendar for yourself as well.
A whole month off, Tatiana. That is what I'm talking about. Amazing. All right. So Tatiana, I want to hear just a little bit more from you, switching gears a little bit. Tell me a little bit more about Cloud Scouts. And I know that you offer night courses and training, which is amazing for working parents. knowing that we have a lot of employers on the line, tell me more about the program and what you'd like, maybe one takeaway you'd like employers to know about the candidates you're working with.
Yeah, but so we have candidates come really from everywhere, but we try to source specifically military spouses and transitioning military and position their skills as project managers, coordinators, jack of all trades, and really infuse that into what it is to be a Salesforce administrator, right? Gathering requirements, making sure those are met, putting in bullet points for people's performance assessments, all those things that they might think that don't translate, right? And same thing for being a parent. We need to know that there's a lot of skills that we've gained as becoming parents, time management, project management, skills management, this coordination, all of these things that we end up having, even being a chef or a counselor or a doctor because you're having to nurse, children. So making sure that they don't have that, the feeling that they, that they're not in the right place or that they don't have the right skills, because I know that they do. And they do have very commanding skills and time management skills and pressure, the amount of pressure that they've put on themselves, and even wives having to deal with PCSs, which is when spouses leave, or TDYs when they go over abroad overseas, or when they leave for extended amounts of time. So our course is 3 weeks long, like I said, and the neat thing about our course is that we allow students to return. So whether it took them those 3 weeks to learn the skills that we needed them to learn and get their certification, we've had students that were there for 3 months. We had students that were there for 3 weeks and were successful in passing their exam and helping us transition them into a position. Or we have people that have taken longer, but really trying to start to see that whether you're elderly or whether you're at a disadvantage or of a certain ethnic race or military, these things, we need to stop looking at them as negative factors and start to see what are the positive highlights of these particular traits that people have, because really the only thing that they need is the energy and the wherewithal and the just the persistence to be in this career field, right? And to learn and to grow into those positions. So something that we really look forward to and see a lot of. The whole month of July, I took the month off and my students created their own study group and have been studying the same at 7 o'clock at night the whole time I've been gone. So really just proud of them and the amount of growth that they have just in the 3 weeks that we're with them. And then further on, if they continue with us, it's just amazing to just see them not having any Salesforce skill sets to being able to answer questions about process builder and flows and what is lead management. It's very proud moment for me.
Yeah. It's amazing to hear, how far someone can go and the power that they get from someone believing in them. So I'm sure that you can relate. I mean, yourself, a mom, a consultant, an entrepreneur, I'm sure that you're able to relate to them on many different levels. So thanks for sharing that. Obviously, Cloud Scouts is an amazing organization. So employers, if you're looking for candidates, please look into that organization. Lena, I'm curious from you if you would share a little bit more about Revelent, specifically around, obviously we want to learn more about the organization overall, but also talk to me a little bit more about maybe how Revels, you've seen them be supported as they pursue their path as working parents.
Absolutely. So Revelent offers a 2-year employment to people that want to cross-train from other technologies into Salesforce. And what we've done, I think, very well is that we really upped our technology game because of the pandemic. So we used to do in the office training classes. We now have everything online. So again, the kind of culture that we've built is obviously, we're flexible. We understand that there are other priorities in your life. We do have instructor-led training hours that we, of course, ask people to show up for. But besides that, if you have to go and pick up your child, go and pick up your child. If you need to have that 1 hour that you spoke about, Tatiana, where you just need to focus on yourself, go and do that. So we really embrace the culture of we trust you. We trust you that these are the tests that needs to be done. You know when you need to sit on your next exam, work whenever you want to do, and kind of create that balance. Some people work really, really well in the morning. Other people work really, really well in the evening. It's not a 9-to-5 job anymore. So yeah, we've done a lot. We also have certified mental health coaches amongst our staff and our instructors. Again, back to like making sure we spot if people are being a bit more quiet. Is there anything else that we can help with? Are you just struggling right now? Maybe just need a day or two where you take a break. And I think for me as well, just checking in with people. I know we spoke about, we had a rebel going through our course, and she's been through the roughest year. Her boyfriend left her. She's a single mom. She was in our training during COVID, where it was hard for us to kind of like have people picking up these rebels and getting a job. And she's kind of like really doubting herself. We finally placed her at an amazing company. We got great feedback from that employer, and we just celebrated. You know, she won the award, and like I remember I could put the comment on LinkedIn. You know, make sure you share this with your little guy. And I think, you know, those are the small stories that really demonstrate that the most important thing we can do as organizations is the compassionate leadership, is checking in with people and acknowledge that sometimes people just go through rough times, and we got to be there for them.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Lena. It's a really good reminder to employers, obviously everybody on the line, to think about that compassionate leadership when you have those employees that are balancing a lot. All right, we have one more question, rapid fire style. I'd like each of you to share one piece of advice or a tip that you'd recommend for succeeding as a working parent, knowing we have many folks on the phone who are doing both. So rapid fire, Ivana, starting with you, what is one piece of advice or a tip that you recommend to someone else that has helped you succeed as a parent? Working parent.
So my advice is to organize very well your day's activities, to wake up early, and to also leave room for the unexpected.
I think we demonstrated that today as well.
Yes.
Perfect. Lena, over to you. What is your one piece of advice or a tip?
I'm going to steal it from my mom. We call it the oxygen hour. So, you know, when you go on a flight and see the safety video, it always says, make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help children and other passengers. And I think for me, having that 1 hour oxygen hour every single day, I do meditation, I do workout, and then I stretch, just because you never get, you know, you can start stretching at any age and you should be doing it. So again, having that oxygen hour and allowing other people as well to have the oxygen hour is really important.
Oxygen hour. Okay, Tatiana, over to you.
Oh, I'm just getting some feedback. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So knowing yourself and your strengths. I know that before I used to think that I just invited too many people to calls, but then I found out that one of my strength finders was inclusion, that I like to include people, right? And so maybe knowing yourself, maybe knowing your top 5 strengths and really leaning into those. And then the next thing is respect your time and don't overcommit. Plan the night before, plan that morning, and build your calendar to meet your needs, right? And if something's not working, rather than be contentious about it, just talk to someone and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. You know, summer is terrible with, you know, just going here, there, everywhere, camps and night camps and day camps and everything. So making sure that you're communicating with people the struggles that you're having.
Amazing. Organization, oxygen hour, strong communication, setting good expectations. I've learned a lot from each of you today, so thank you for sharing your time. And thank you all for listening. I want to give a couple of quick updates for Talent Alliance employers who are new to the Talent Alliance. You can sign up at the link in the chat. If you are existing, make sure to update all of your information by August 1st. We also have an exciting opportunity to learn more about the Salesforce Talent Alliance Fellowship, where you can provide job seekers with a 12-week paid experience, which provides candidates with a focus on those the candidates have a focus on those who are underrepresented in tech. We want to give them hands-on experience, mentorship, and professional connections. We really want to invest in these candidates, invest in our workforce. That's exactly what we've been talking about today. Fellows will be hosted by Salesforce partners and customers like you who are committed to growing their talent pipeline with strong, skilled, and diverse talent. You can learn more at the link in chat, and we have a webinar coming up where you can learn more from us live as well. Thank you again for joining us today. Thank you, panelists, Tatiana, Ivana, Lena. Like I said, I learned a lot from you through this process, and I hope the employers on the line are not only learning more how they can succeed as working parents, but how they can provide support to their employees, colleagues, and friends who are in the same position. We're doing it all, but we're doing it all together. So thanks again, and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.